What's up, gang? Willie Rebuild, baby, back with another one. No more decoder digital videos today. The decoders is installed. What we gonna do today is we gonna get back on the LS swap field part 2, gang. That's what we about to get back on today. Got the old Monte Carlo sitting back here, still here. Maybe I just need to buy this car from him. I don't know, gang. This motherfucker is just a tuning nightmare. My tuner coming tomorrow. Don't get me wrong, she got all the balls in the world, but when it come down to drivability, she hit. So that's what he gonna come do tomorrow. Me and him gonna take it out and drive it. I just took it out on the property and made a ride, took a little ride in it, made a hit in it, and that motherfucker riding. But once you come to stop and go and starting up on cold starts in the morning and shit, she have problems running, idling when it's cold. When it's warm, she all right, kinda. She at like 50%. But when it's cold, this motherfucker pissed me off to even look at it. So we gonna work on that tomorrow. We got the TCM is in for the dump. He gonna come over here tomorrow and put it in and make the adjustments to pair the two ECUs together, and then I'll go ahead and get back on the dump. Box Chevy just gotta get the headers. And then I fucked around and cut the drive shaft too short, but that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna have to get another drive shaft now. That's my problem because I took the measurement, I made the mistake and messed it up. So back to the LS swap field part 2. And as y'all can see, she's starting to take shape, gang. I got the radiators marked, the radiator and fans marked up in it. I got the Cutlass AC condenser in it. I done put the Willie Rebuild cold air intake on it. As you can see, and she's starting to take shape. Now what we finna do today is we not gonna get rid of that because that's our AC wires. But this right here, we gonna get rid of that because that's just the old wiring from the ECU, which we don't need that anymore. That's over and done with. This here wire here coming from the bulkhead, we gonna get that out of there and run that the way how I run it. This fuel line, we gonna get rid of that. We gonna rerun that over this, down and out of the way. We gonna redo the whole fuel system, gang. The whole fuel system. And not only that, we gonna redo the transmission lines, because when he ran the transmission lines, he ran the transmission line straight to the cooler, and that's not the way how I do it. When I do them, I run the transmission lines through the radiator and then out to the cooler and to the transmission. So that's what we gonna do today on the LS swap field part 2. This here just mocked up. You can see the clean, pretty look. When you put the shroud in, hey Cutlass man, you see it? You see how with the Rebuild got that old factory shroud to work with that 3-row radiator, baby. That's right. But we gonna pull this back out. I just mocked it up to make my cuts to get the right length that I wanted on the intake. As y'all can see, I'm gonna pull that back out and start getting everything ran how I wanted, my transmission lines and stuff. So enough talking. We got a lot of work to do. I want to try to get all this stuff here finished today. Gotta jack the car up, take the gas tank down, and then I'm gonna cut y'all back on and let y'all see how he set up the fuel line. Y'all already seen the wiring. How he set up the wiring I'm gonna let y'all see how he just left the vent line is just hanging under the car, nothing on it. I mean, if the tank start to vent, it's just gonna push gas out it. And the customer already told me that the gas tank was leaking. And I seen a spot on the floor earlier when I moved it, but I can't see it now. The gas probably done dried up. So enough talking. Let me go ahead and get the car jacked up and on the stands, and I'll cut y'all back on in a minute. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, gang. Y'all see what's happening. Willie Rebuild taking on other people's work and making it look like a respectable bill, baby. That's right. Hit that subscribe button, share the videos, like the videos, turn on your post notifications, baby. There's a lot more content to come. Cut y'all back on in a minute. All right, gang, we got up in the air on full jack stands. Can't wait to get the old lift in there, coming soon. Just trying to empty out the shop a little bit before I get it. And I need to check this slab to make sure it's deep enough for me to put a lift, which I think is gonna be deep enough. But back to the car. So we gonna come up under here. As y'all can see, how he set his fuel system up. He drilled a hole in the bottom of the floor to mount the filter / regulator, which I never do. I always mount it to the frame. Another thing he did is, this is his vent for the tank. As you can see, look where it's at. Right there by the exhaust. You could touch the exhaust with it and it's just open. So whenever you fill this tank up with gas and it vent, it's gonna vent the fuel right on the exhaust to set this motherfucker on fire. And that's what I be trying to tell y'all. Y'all can slap this shit together so you can go and say, oh, I got a swap in here. You gonna have a fucking ball of fire going down the street. Nigga rigging that fucking shit up. Let's come up here to the front where I can show y'all something else that I tell y'all do not do. Do not run these wires like this. Right away, before I even went under the car. This is my first time going under this car. Once I seen these wires here from the bulkhead going straight down behind the transmission, I already know he ran the starter wires behind the back of the motor. And let me show y'all why I tell y'all not to do that bullshit. Let me show y'all right now. Let me get up under here. Yep, let me get up under here. This is fuel line. Hanging right here, look. Fuel line right there. Right there by the exhaust. Y'all look up in there. That's the starter wires. See that? Running around the back of the motor. Right there is unloomed. No heat tape on it. This exhaust get hot. Hot enough where this here don't even have to touch it to burn it and short it out. Those wires are hooked directly to the starter, which the starter wire is hooked directly to the battery. There's no fuse in between the battery. There's not supposed to be a fuse in between the battery. If these wires short out, they definitely gonna set the fucking wire harness on fire, guaranteed. That's why I tell y'all, don't do that shit like that. Don't run your wires around the back of the motor. Now, in this video, I'm gonna show y'all how to run the wires, what to use to protect the wires, so to keep this shit out the way. You're supposed to set it up just like they set it up from GM. So, let me come out from under the car, because I don't want to make the video an hour long. So, the first thing I'm finna do is, I need to disconnect this fuel line. I need to disconnect this fuel line and pull it all the way out the car. all the way out. That's what I'm finna do. And then I'm gonna unhook these wires and pull them all the way out. So let me do that. I'm gonna cut y'all back on. I forgot your name, buddy. You hit me up on Facebook and Messenger, but I'm gonna show you the wires. There go one of them right there, your green wire. That's gonna be for your temp sensor if you was running your factory gauges. So once I pull that out, I'll give you a little breakdown on that to let you see what's happening. Let me cut y'all off and cut y'all back on in a minute once I get this stuff loose, gang. All right, gang, so we back. I done went ahead and pulled the bunk head out. To my guy that messaged me, this green wire, this gonna be your temperature sensor wire. All you gotta do if you running doing the LS swap is use the same temp sensor from your Monte Carlo. Get your adapter and install it over there in the passenger side of your head. Or you can do the 3-wire thing that some people do with the, I think it's the Camaro sensor, 0102 Camaro. I never do it that way. I just run the single wire over there, put my temp sensor in the passenger side head. Your oil pressure wire is gonna be one of these browns. I'm not exactly sure which one since they cut the ends off them, but when I do a swap, I take that wire and put it to the side. I know what it is because I could tell from the connector on it. And your tag wire will come out this hole. Out of one of these little holes, they got the tag wire from the factory. Usually come out there and go to the distributor. But back to what we doing right here today. This your wires now that's going to the starter. You can see I loomed them, put some heat tape on them, high heat tape, put new connector on them. I'm gonna run them down right through here. Well, first I need to run it down around here through these wires and pull it out. It ain't what you do, gang, it's how you do it. If you just slopping shit together any kind of way, that's the results you gonna get. Just cause you save money, don't mean your shit got to look low budget. If you take your time and take a little pride in what you're doing, it'll look just as good as somebody that spent a whole lot of money. So that's one thing to keep in mind. All right, we got that down. Now I'm gonna go under the car and run that, and then I'll cut y'all back on in a minute because I'm trying to do this with one hand and I got a lot of work to get done. Just trying to show y'all how I run the wires to give you a clean look. As you can see, everything laying down nice and pretty, gang. I'm gonna cut y'all back on in a second. All right, gang, so we just finished routing the fuel line. As y'all can see, that's the route I take over the brake booster, out of the way of the exhaust, down under the frame, through the frame, as I'm getting ready to show y'all. Through the frame, as you can see, down the frame, which I'll take and zip tie it back, on top of the frame, and out the back at the top of the frame where I'm getting ready to mount the fuel filter / regulator. Now this regulator here, I'm just going to install it temporarily. I don't like this regulator because of this fitting right here. As you can see, it looked wet back there, and that might have been where he seen the leak coming from. Also, I see a little wetness on top of the tank, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to tighten all those fittings up. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and change them fittings now that I'm looking at them, because those are not the fittings that I use. They look like compression fittings. I'm not sure, but I don't really like how he got them installed. I don't know, what I might do is just clean the tank off, tighten them up, and then check it to see if it leaked later. But that's how I got the fuel line routed. Let me go ahead and put my fittings on it, because like I see, this car, I only work on it. I'm doing it in steps in between other stuff I'm doing, because I don't want to cripple the car where it can't run and move, because as you can see, I got the Monte Carlo out. I keep this car in the shop with the Monte Carlo. So I need to be able to put it back in, because I don't leave no cars sitting outside once I'm gone for the day. But another thing y'all can see, that's how not to install the AN line. That's how he had the line all frayed up. It could have been leaking from that one, ain't no telling. It's just a disaster when you're going behind some of these guys' work, because they just don't give a fuck. So they just trying to get the money, and that's all it is to it, gang. So be careful who you send your car to, because you might be the next one over here with Willie Rebuild with the fire hazard. The fucking fire marshal shouldn't have never let him on the road with this shit, the way he got it done. But that's neither here or there, because now it's up to me to make everything right and get it to where he can do what he told me he want to do. Be able to drive it wherever it need to go, wherever he want to go, 2-3 hours. Well, you came from Little Rock. When you come pick it up, what you need to do is you need to drive it back to Little Rock. You got a seatbelt. You got one driver's seat in the car. When it come from over here, it's gonna be ready to rock and roll, baby. So that'll be a good thing for you to do for me, so the people can see that with a rebuild is not bullshit by driving it back home. Now, hopefully your engine man got this motor built right if you go to try that, which I'm gonna drive it too before you come and get it. So anything I feel that ain't right, I'm gonna let you know. So that's something you might want to think about. Tires look good and all that. You can drive it back to Little Rock. You don't need a trailer when you leave from over here. That's right. It's ready, highway ready, baby. Let me go ahead and get this stuff ran and stop all this rambling and talking, because I don't want to be in here till 10, 11 o'clock at night tonight like I was last night. So let me go ahead and get the fittings installed, and then I'll cut y'all back on in a second, gang. All right, gang, we back. So as y'all can see, I went ahead and redid the lines on the fuel tank. One thing that I do when I'm putting these end lines, I put tape, and I can see if the line's starting to back out by the gap in the tape. This one was fine. Sometime I had the tape a little like longer on the line, but that's how I could tell if it's pushing out. As you can see, this one you don't see none, but this one I had it wrapped a little too long. But I did clean the top of the tank off, so if it leak again, I can see it. And also, this is what I was telling y'all about the connection on the wire. When you take the tank down, you can't fully disconnect the tank without cutting the wires. And also, as y'all can see up there in the top, now I have the filter / regulator up there bolted up high on the frame, And like I said, I'm gonna change that because I don't like that fitting. I like the one with the AN6 connection already welded on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this tank under here, because as y'all can see, sun's starting to go down, and I need to go ahead and get this car finished up so I can put the other Monte Carlo back inside. So let me button this back up and I'll cut y'all back on in a minute, gang. All right, gang, we back. About to go ahead and wrap this video up. But before I do, I'm gonna bring y'all up under the car and let y'all see how we got everything set up. As y'all can see, got the regulator set up, got the lines running nice and neat. And if I can get around over here to it, y'all see right, let me see, right there, got our vent valve set up in the frame. So if we build pressure up in the tank, we'll have somewhere for the pressure to come off. And that's also called a rollover valve. In case the car roll over, it'll stop fuel from coming back through the line, through the vent. So under the hood, as y'all can see, got the fuel line ran and hooked up right here. Nice and neat, out the way, running over the top. Cleaned up the wires. This pink wire back here, that's gonna be my key on switch for my AC. We gonna tackle that in the next video. The reason I didn't run it, cause I got another wire I need to put with that. I also went ahead and pulled those old wires out. This here, I'm gonna have to tie that up out the way, take it off. That's the old light for under the hood. It's in the way right now. But the next thing we gonna do is, cause y'all probably saying it still look like mumbo jumbo right there. That's the alternator wire, and I don't have no 4 gauge right now, or no 2 gauge. So that's why I haven't cut that off of there. I'm probably gonna go get that tomorrow morning before I even get started, because that's some of the stuff that we'll do in the next video. But as y'all can see, from where we started, the old LS swap field is starting to take shape. Y'all get in the comments, let me know if y'all think I should take that alternator off and paint it black. That's another thing I like to do on a lot of my swaps, as you can see, is paint that alternator black so it can match the compressor. But that's about it, where we at right now. When we come back, we gonna do the transmission lines, clean up the battery cables, get our AC wired up, and get the LS swap field ready to hit the dyno, gang. It's Willie Rebuild telling you, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about the old LS swap field, gang. It's Willie Rebuild, over and out, baby.